Hello and welcome to another edition of the People's Rose. I'm Jared.
I'm Brooke.
This is our second episode this week, our second episode in this hour. We are jam-packed with content. Listen, if you are only listening to this episode, this is the first episode you listened to this week, we actually have another episode that we just released before this one. And if you're looking for Bachelor content or Claim to Fame content, that's where you'll find it. We just came out with it. Check it out. We talked all about the first two episodes of Jen's Bachelorette season and the first two episodes of Claim to Fame, both on ABC. This, however, episode is going to be all about Big Brother. If you wonder why we love Big Brother so much, it's because we're both huge, super fans of the show. We actually have an episode up in our podcast history. I'll link it in the YouTube description, where we talked about how Big Brother played a part in how we first met and stuff like that. We love this show so much. It's coming up this summer. We're excited to talk about it. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're talking about Big Brother season 26 of the US version of the show.
26, baby.
BB26. BB26.
Okay.
Okay, BB26 is coming out. Or is out now, and we have been waiting in such anticipation for this show. It comes on 3 nights a week, but it's actually on 24/7. I wanted to have the live feeds up while we were recording, but our computer wasn't working. It's whatever. We're going to give you all the information that we know so far. Let's get into it. Brooke, what's your thoughts on the first two episodes of Big Brother?
Okay, listen. Notoriously, the first episodes are rough, okay?
Yeah.
They try to do something different every season, and sometimes they're a hit and sometimes they're a miss. And
right.
Unfortunately, this one was kind of a miss for me.
Yeah, definitely.
It was they do a theme every year, and this year's theme is AI, and it's just a little bit cringe.
Incredibly cringe.
It's one of those things when like you're like, this show is so good, and then you're like, okay, but maybe let's not watch the cringy stuff. I don't know. It's definitely hard.
We're not the first to make that observation. It's a joke that happens every season.
Yeah,
multiple times this season. We literally got a lot of our old friend group to sit down and watch it with us, and it's just the cheesy stuff.
You just like look up. You just usually look away from it,
right? And the show is so strategic and so in depth and so cerebral. But it's also at the same time very corny. Yeah. Very cheesy. Yeah. Incredibly lame.
But I think that's why I like the competition so much, because like any average Joe has a chance at them. You know what I mean?
When they're good.
Except for some of the like
sometimes
really
it can get
ones.
Really physical, but when they're good, and they do a good job of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we watched multiple versions of Big Brother. We've watched other countries' versions of it. Canada's really good at towing that line. America, not so much. Like she said, not only is the AI the theme this year, they have this like robot AI Ainsley mascot controlling the game, and not Zingbot. I'm talking about this holographic, poorly animated robot that's like AI is taking over the game, and you're like, oh gosh.
And it was really weird because they were like, you can vote this person in the house or not in the house. It was like a mystery house
guess, yeah.
And I'm very confused on. So basically, they split the cast up into two groups.
Well, if you're listening, you probably watched it. So
but I'm just saying, like, if they would have said yes and voted her in the house, what would have happened?
I know.
Would she have then become a player? Like, I don't understand.
I think they just would have worded it differently. Like, you've unleashed a mystery house guest who is actually AI and won't be playing, but is part of the show. It's just, let's say, just would have spent it.
Anyway, they basically were like, there was no point in voting other than it's going to negatively or positively impact your game.
Right. That was the only thing, is that they thought they were voting to bring her in, but really it was just voting on which challenge they were going to pursue. Whether they were going to get an upgrade or a downgrade.
So they did do they did do 4 different challenges, which I thought were pretty good.
Right, but they split the premiere up into 2 nights, which they just make it a 2-hour premiere.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. And then it inexplicably split the crew up, split the cast up.
Right.
It just was odd, but...
It wasn't a live premiere. They do have a lot of super fans on this season. But it's Big Brother. You're going to take the cringe with the bad. You're going to take, honestly, historically, the racism with the good. You're going to take the bully with the good. You're going to take the corniness with the good. You're going to take the boringness with the showmances. It's a give and take.
Yeah. I mean, with a 24-hour live feed, inevitably someone is going to say something very dumb on the live feed.
Very dumb. Very offensive.
Very problematic.
Very toxic. Very insensitive. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But more and more people are, I would say actually more and more people, well, no, I think people are biting their tongue. You go back and watch some of the stuff that happened on those older seasons before political correctness as we know it. Yeah, things have definitely progressed, but see, people still say what they say.
For sure.
Okay, all that said, it's another season of our favorite reality TV show, I would say, right?
Yeah.
And we've got a bunch of people in the house. The live feeds are up. We know a little bit more than what's happened on the show.
What do we know so far about who has the what?
Right. So we are going to be discussing everything that's happened in real time up to this point. So if you do not want to know some of the things that won't be shown on TV until Sunday, we will make it clear when we're about to spoil something, and you can skip ahead. I don't know how you'll navigate that, but when the show gets going, we'll have a little more clearly delineated time when we talk about the episodes and then the feeds. But really, there's nothing much to talk about. Let's talk about our guest, or our house guest. Who jumps out at you from the people who we've seen so far?
Definitely Chelsea.
Okay.
I think she's going to be fun and strategic and good. However, she did lose she voted no, so she had to do the comp for the downgrade, and she lost, so she has the downgrade.
Right.
Which is that she has to be she can't play in anything this week.
Right.
And she can still be nominated.
Right.
So if she gets nominated, she can't even try and get herself off with veto.
Right.
Can the veto be used on her?
No, there's just... Well, I guess it could be used on her, but she can't dictate her fate in any real way.
Yeah.
I've been wearing the headphones this whole time. Okay, go ahead.
What's the matter?
No, it's just... I don't need to. You continue.
Okay.
We don't need to.
And then... Quinn. I like Quinn. He's a super fan.
He's the one with the long hair.
He's the one and so far, he gave really good diary rooms.
Yeah, good diary rooms. He said he was going to give great live feed talking, which is a part of it on the live feeds. Prior to the season, he said that was what he plans to do.
Yeah. And he seems like he knows the game, and he seems funny. Someone said something about there being hot guys in the house, and he was like, yeah, right here. And he's not like your traditional hot, what society would say is a hot guy. I think that's all that's on my radar at this point, because it's still so early. I have to take back what I said, because I said that Angela was gonna go home first. And this is a spoiler from the feed, so if you don't want to hear, then skip a few seconds ahead. But she did win HOH. So I take back what I said. Sorry, no disrespect. She might be a force. She's kind of seems like she's going to be playing that mama bear role, like Felicia, like Mama Fee. I think Mackenzie and Matt, they're setting them up to be a showmance. We'll see how that goes. It sounds like Leah already has beef with Mackenzie. That's happening on the live feeds. I don't know. I need Jarrett to fill us in on that. And then, T-Core seems really cool too.
Of those people that you named, you would say that Chelsea's your favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I don't even know why, but Angela, who, like you said, and again, this is a spoiler coming up again, who was her current HOH, I just really vibed and connected with her. I think it's because she's an older super fan. And more as I grow older and I want to still go on the show, I'm seeing less of my, the young, hot, guy, braggadocious. And if I'm ever going to be on the show, it's going to be as the older dad. So I'm starting to relate more to those characters. Mm-hmm. So seeing how excited she was to go on Big Brother, saw a lot of my wants and hopes in her or whatever. So yeah, I think I'm rooting for Angela, and I haven't watched enough live feeds to know if I'm going to regret that yet. But she seems to be doing well. She is doing well. Okay, so of the people that are on the show that jumped out that we've seen so far, I think Rubina's going to be a character. She seems very animated. I think Lisa is going to be very boring. She seems very laid back. Although I have seen some flares of stuff happening on the live feeds and just her interactions with people and her willingness to be kind of show her personality.
She seems zany, like maybe a little zany.
Right, but she also seems kind of vindictive from what I've seen so far.
Oh boy, already?
Right, I don't have enough context of what's going on to know why, but just the faces she's making. She seems like expressive more so than I thought. We've got your typical jocks in Matt, who I think Matt and Mackenzie. And I actually don't know this to be true, but I will have to see if they're connecting like you would all guess they would. I don't have a read on Cedric, who is our former Marine from Idaho. But he seems to be cut from the Swaggy P cloth, if you'll say. Leia, I saw that she's called herself a entrepreneur from Miami.
I will say with Leah, her intro video was threw me off from who she then was in the house. I feel like
really
she said, because she said she wanted to play with Quinn. She was like, I think Quinn will be really good. He seems like he's a fan and knows his stuff.
Okay.
And that kind of to me was like, okay, maybe Leah's not what I thought she was. Because I assumed she would go for the like Matt or Tucker type.
No, I don't
think so. To play with.
I don't think so.
She did say she was a chubby chaser.
Right.
But still, I don't know. It threw me off a little.
I don't watch. I'm not a Harry Potter fan, nor do I really care. But I will say one of the things that Harry Potter gave us that is good for classifying people more so than Enneagrams, I feel like, are the house things, sorting hats or whatever.
Oh my god!
Again, didn't watch the movies, didn't read the book. But that said, everyone knows what a Ravenclaw is, what a Hufflepuff is, what a Gryffindor, what's the last one? Slades.
I don't watch that either. Slytherin?
Oh wow, you don't watch that. What you know? Okay, Leia is Hufflepuff energy, and so is Quinn.
It's Leah, babe.
Leia.
No, it's Leah.
Leia.
Wait, you're saying Leah gives Hufflepuff?
100%.
Why?
Because that's what she is.
What?
If you're in the Venn diagram of people who watch this show, listen to our podcast, and know the sorting hats, please inform Brooke about how Aaliyah or Leia is Hufflepuff energy.
What am I?
Okay, so moving
on.
I
want to know now. You started this. What am I and what are you?
I mean, do you really want to know?
Yeah. I think you're Slytherin.
You think I'm Slytherin?
Yeah.
No, definitely not. Definitely not Slytherin. Definitely not Slytherin. I would say I'm just your, all-American Gryffindor, you know what I'm saying? I'm just I'm one of the good guys. I'm one of the people that win. I'm one of the people that, when there's something that needs to happen, I get the job done.
Which one is Harry in?
Gryffindor, obviously.
Oh, so who's in Hufflepuff?
The weirdos. But not like, okay, here's how I see it.
Is Quinn a Hufflepuff?
Yes, here's how I see it. And
what
this will help you. I'm about to tell you. Hufflepuff, theater kid. Gryffindor, anything from a smart jock, like the smart jock, to a really good person. You know what I'm saying? Your average really good person. Ravenclaw, super smart, little socially awkward. But not in the sense we're standoffish, but you're just like, all right, y'all are doing your own thing. Who cares? Slytherin, either the jock, but not necessarily smart. just kind of really competitive, to just the worst person you've ever met in your life. So
I'm definitely a Gryffindor.
Is that what you think? Okay.
What do you think? A Hufflepuff?
Again, this is a reality TV podcast.
I know I'm not socially awkward, and I know I'm not a snake.
You don't think you're socially awkward?
Oh, don't even.
I think you are a little socially
awkward. What?
You took that test that said you were an introvert.
No. First of all,
did I lie? Or is that not a fact?
Okay, first of all,
is that not just a true fact?
That test was wrong.
Oh, the test was wrong.
Second of all,
the test was wrong.
You're now saying introverts are socially awkward? That is rude.
No, first of all, hold on.
For you with that
socially awkward is not a good or a bad thing. It doesn't imply a positive or a negative meaning. It just means in social situations you don't always know what to do.
Oh, I am offended.
Why? I don't know why.
True.
There's nothing to be offended by.
I am extremely social. I can talk to anyone and everyone.
I don't think so. But
oh my god. Cut this out, because now I'm getting mad.
Are you really upset?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about this later, sir.
I didn't mean offense. I just,
okay. Do you even know me?
No, I know you. I'm wondering
if I know myself.
Yeah, well.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We'll talk about the show.
Moving
I think
on.
We've got our classic former undercover cop and Kenny. Kenny, however, he says he was an undercover cop. I don't know how successfully. Maybe undercover cops look differently in Boston, but this dude, if I saw him on the street, removed of all context, I would be like, that's a cop. He looks like a cop. And so he's coming in the house not to let people know that he was a former undercover cop. I think everyone who has eyes, ears, and any understanding of American context was going to know that.
Are they just doing like one undercover cop a season now since Derek? Because wasn't someone one last season too?
I think they do it often. I don't know if it's every season, but it's definitely, they have, Big Brother has typecast stereotypes that they fulfill every season. Robin, you do such a great job casting the season. We know you are a casting legend. We've seen how you casted Big Brother Canada. Big Brother US definitely has types. That's why I said Cedric is that Swaggy P type. I think Brooklyn, who is former friends with Aaron and is also from Dallas, is the Aaron type, from what we can tell so far. She's a pageant girl, so that's the type. We've got our nerdy but like witty guy in Quinn. I think they were trying to. Who's that guy that ended up with America last year? Corey.
Oh, Corey. Yeah.
I feel he's in the Corey range. Quinn. Mm-hmm. Leah. I can think of a bunch of people who are of her type, but I can't think of their names right now. And so it'll just be interesting to see how it all shakes out. Those are the people I think that are most interesting so far. Again, we're not even 20. Are we even 24 hours into live feeds being up? We're just at barely, it, just barely at it, almost. And then 8 minutes, it'll be true. So we've got a diverse cast that did a good job of casting diverse, even though they're definitely dialing in on their stereotypes. Mm-hmm. The theme, like we said, is a bit cringy this season. And we're just gonna see. I'm excited. I'm anticipating everything, all the twists and turns. We already know one of the twists is going to be, well, I don't know, actually, we haven't talked about this. They have 3 people on the block, looks like, this season. Really? I don't know how long that's going to last.
Where did you see that?
I saw who was nominated.
Oh.
And I'll leave that for our next episode. We won't spoil that for people, so y'all can watch on Sunday. But if you are by chance just checking it out, you got to try Big Brother out. It's a great show. Prepare yourself to see some things. Last season, they had a competition where boogers were shooting out snot and people were farting and stuff. And it was not funny. Oh. And it was the worst thing that might have been on TV last year. All that said, Big Brother is a good show. It's a contradiction. It's a, I can't think of the word.
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining. That's what it is. Regardless. Okay, so we did this thing where we had our own, we call them alliances, but basically, and it's the first one, so we're basically just going off vibes. Pick who is your favorite, who is your least favorite contest. These are house guests. And then who do you think? Did we do think is going to win or want to win? I think we did both. Favorite, least favorite, think is going to win. Who do you want to win?
Okay.
I guess that's the same as favorite, huh?
Whew.
So it was like favorite, who you want to win.
Least favorite.
And who you think is going to win.
And who you think is going to win?
Yeah.
Okay. So favorite is Chelsea. Least favorite is Brooklyn. I think... I don't know. I think Quinn is going to win.
Okay, I would go favorite Angela. I would say my least favorite is Lisa. And then who do I think is going to win? I'm going to say Leah/Leia.
What?
Yeah.
You think she's going to win?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Again, just off vibes. Who knows? And I haven't watched enough of live feeds to know if those are horrible choices. Okay, but that's what we have for Big Brother. We'll have longer segments on Big Brother going forward. But let's get into it here. Why don't we take a breather and then we'll come back with Brooke's Buzz. Sound good?
Sure.
All right, it's time for everybody's favorite segment, future award-winning segment of the People's Rose, Brooke's Buzz.
Hi.
What you got for us, Brooke?
Well, so I have been... Okay, so Housewives are back. So Real Housewives of Orange County, Real Housewives of Dubai, and Real Housewives of New Jersey. Okay. In New Jersey, I'm sorry, I can't stand to watch it. It's the same stuff. It's not entertaining. I don't like it. So I'm not watching that one. Dubai has been really good. Nothing too out there. Now, Orange County has been one of my favorites from the beginning. And I think this season's going to be really good because we have a returning housewife, Alexis Bellino. I don't know if you remember her or know her, but she was on like 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And she was married to this guy named Jim. They since have gotten a divorce. Jim sued 2 of the housewives.
Oh, wow.
For defamation.
Yeah.
It was like this big thing. So she was invited back, but here's the kicker. Now she's dating one of the housewives' ex-boyfriends, John Jansen, or Johnny J, as she calls him. And it is drama because it's Shannon Beador's ex. Do you know Shannon Beador?
The name sounds familiar.
Shannon Beador is a little bit on a downward spiral. Okay, it's honestly hard. It's honestly hard to watch.
Yeah,
because all of her daughters moved out. So we've seen her for a long time. We saw her married. We saw her get a divorce, and then support her children on her own. All of her daughters have recently moved out, gone to college, gone to, one of them's just like living in Paris. And then her and John Jansen broke up. And then she got a DUI because she drove drunk into somebody's house.
Oh my gosh.
And tried to flee the scene.
Yeah. So
she's just really not doing well. Okay? And now the producers are like, oh, well, guess what? Now your ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend, who's an ex-housewife, is on the show.
Okay.
So that's Alexis Bellino.
Okay.
And Alexis is like, he is my man, my man, my man. We're going to get married. Like, sorry it didn't work out for y'all, but now he's mine. Da-da-da-da-da. And Shannon is just like, she's acting like she's not distraught, but she's clearly distraught.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's rough. And the thing about John Jansen, is that when he was with Shannon would always be like, well, he doesn't like the spotlight. He doesn't want to be on the show. He doesn't like that I'm doing the show. I don't want to always talk about our relationship. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And so for him to now be dating another housewife, it's kind of like, bro, do you really not like the spotlight? But I think he just never really liked Shannon, which is really sad.
Here, is it, what's his name, Johnny J?
Mm-hmm.
Is Johnny J, and what's the other's names? Who's Johnny J? He's dating, who's he now?
He's currently with Alexis.
And Shannon Bedore. What's
his ex? Yeah.
Were they ever on the show together? Shannon Bedore and Alexis?
Yeah, they were.
Here's what's happened. It's a classic. We've all seen this before. Johnny J, Aaron Samuels, Alexis, Caddy Heron, Shannon Bedore, Regina George.
Yeah, fair.
So yeah, Aaron Samuels claims to not like the plastics, but he's dated 2 plastics in 2 years at Westfield High School.
Fair.
Come on, Aaron.
Fair.
That's what I see. He has a type even if he doesn't like it.
Yeah. So in the very first episode of the season, they're all at this party, which they always do. They get them all together. But Shannon literally approaches Alexis.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, can we talk? And Alexis is like, sure. Okay, so everyone's expecting her to say something about John, right? Johnny J.
Right.
No, she goes in with what your ex-husband did to me suing me really hurt me. And Alexis is like, bro, I had nothing to do with that. I know nothing about that. We weren't even together when he did that.
Right.
Like, sorry, but I have nothing to do with that.
Right.
And she was just like doubling down on that's what her beef was with Alexis, and everyone was just like, Shannon, we know that's not your real problem with Alexis.
Yeah. Maybe I need to look these people up.
Yeah. So it's just, I think it's going to be a very interesting season.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So I've been binging the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. DCC's America's Sweethearts.
Wow, Shannon has had tons of work done.
She's had a lot of work done.
Whoa.
Yes, that's correct.
She looks totally different than the last time I saw her.
Okay. Yeah, probably. Because she's,
And it looks like she had a buccal fat removal.
What is that?
Oh, wow. You don't know what that is?
What is that?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, she definitely did have a buccal fat removal.
Let me see the pics you're referring to, the before and after.
I'll show you later. Okay. I can't see it on the pod.
Okay. So, America's Sweethearts, that's actually really good. You know what they did? So the show used to be on CMT years ago, right? And
what show?
The Dallas Cowboys making the team. And it was really focused on like training camp and like cutting. It was really like the Hard Knocks kind of.
Yeah.
But this one goes way more into the backstories of the girls. And kind of gets you to like really like the girls. So then whenever they get cut, it's devastating.
It's so hard.
I cried very hard. I cried a lot.
So cheerleader hard.
I would probably cry watching Hard Knocks too.
I've tried multiple times to get you to watch Hard Knocks. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have a lot on our list.
We do.
So anyway, yeah. So I've been watching that. That's been pretty good. It's been pretty. Some of this stuff is a little jarring, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Oh no.
Yeah, she's bearing the lead here. She was watching Dallas Cowboys cheerleading show, and I don't hear her for a little bit. I was working from home, and our son walks in here. Let me tell you what I thought he said, because I hadn't heard you for a little bit. So then our son walks in here, and sometimes when he's like on his missions, he watches a lot of like hero TV. He like gets this face. You can't see me on the pod, but for those watching on YouTube, he goes like he furrows his brow and is like looking really intensely. So he walks in, he stomps into the office, and he's like, Dada, Mama died. And I was like, what? And I was like, what are you trying to say? And I had heard him say something about outside. So I was like, outside? You want to go outside? Mama's outside? He said, Mama died. And I was like, huh? And so you weren't saying anything to correct him. So I'm like, show me what you're talking about. He said, okay. So then he marches into our room, and I walk in there, and you're sobbing. I'm like, what? And you're like, yeah, Mama cried. And I'm like, oh, Mama cried. He's like, yeah, Mama cried.
That's horrible.
And I was like, what are you crying about? And I look at the TV, and there's Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. And I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, he was very upset that I was upset.
But he was, looking out for you. He was letting me know that you were
very sweet.
Crying. It was a very sweet move. But yeah, if you just, I said all that to say you were very much into.
I was, for sure. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have for Brooke's Buzz at this moment in time.
But it's, it was a short but sweet Brooke's Buzz.
Short but sweet. Just like me.
Exactly. So we are also watching The Mole. All the episodes are out. So again, this is not a beat by beat thing because you might not watch it. You might have seen all the episodes. You might not have seen any yet. But just really quickly, I think this season of The Mole is going great so far. Mm-hmm. To me, it's already, in my opinion, surpassed the first season. Okay, so The Mole was a show that used to come on, I believe, ABC back in the day, like in 2002, 2003, with Anderson Cooper.
We had talked a long time ago about how we both really liked that show.
Right, and it was Netflix bought the old episodes.
Oh, yeah, because they had, yeah.
And we watched a season of the old episodes. I think we had seen it before, but it was, again, that was over 20 years ago when we were in, preteens. And so watched it again and enjoyed it. And so Netflix, I guess from all of the hype of people rewatching it, rebooted it.
Yeah.
Had a first season of the Netflix version. It was good. It was okay. Mm-hmm. And this season, I think, is already on pace to surpass that. Mm-hmm. They've opened it up a little bit. It's a little more what we remember, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's very cutthroat this season.
Yeah. The missions, they go on missions to try to add money to the pot.
Right.
Which is a lot like Traders, right?
Incredibly, yeah.
But the missions are so detailed and what's the word I'm looking for? Extravagant?
Complex?
Elevated, maybe?
Okay.
Like I don't know, the missions are just really cool. I feel like they do a really good job with them.
Yeah.
But then they'll also be like simple, like, okay, the timer's running out. If you get up, or like how much money are you willing to give up out of the pot to win an exemption?
Right. If you're familiar with The Mole, you get it. But just really quickly, there's one player. There's a bunch of players all doing missions to add money to a pot that one person's going to win at the end. However, there's one person in the group that is the mole and is sabotaging and purposely trying to make them lose money from the pot. And then each round, they vote for who they think is the mole who's sabotaging. And the person who is the furthest from the correct answer gets eliminated, and so on and so forth. Until there's one person who correctly knows who the mole is. Or most correctly knows who the mole is.
Yeah.
Now, I guess, I like Malaysia. It looks really, the location that they're at is really good. Let's talk about the host. Ari Shapiro is his name, I believe. Very interesting looking man. I mean this respectfully. He is proportioned very weird. He has a very long neck and a very long head. But outside of that, I don't know his kind of hosting presence. I forget the name of the lady who hosted the first Netflix season, but I think I liked her a little bit more.
I just want Anderson Cooper back.
Yeah, but his paycheck's a little probably his salary is too much.
Oh no.
His rate. But whatever. But the show's good. I do like who they've casted. Some of them a little over the top, like Q. I'm like, what are we doing? There's no way you actually act like
Q,
that.
It was meant for reality TV, though. He loves the spotlight.
But maybe not this reality TV.
Yeah, maybe he needed to go on, like, I don't know.
Okay, anyways. But no, I get what you're saying. But Deanna from the documentary Don't F with Cats is there, and I love her.
Yeah.
There was a showmance, believe it or not, on the mole that came out of nowhere. Seemed like
they were like they were obviously an alliance, a duo.
Right.
And then she totally backstabbed him.
Yeah. Multiple times this season, they've lost in one challenge 80% to 100% of the pot.
Yeah, there was the highest it's been at was what, 59,000?
Right. And then immediately it went down to zero because of a challenge that someone was willing to bid all of the money in the pot on an exemption at that round's test. Mm-hmm. We just watched that episode. Yeah. So that's the episode we're on right now. If you had to guess, who's the mole?
Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's Ryan. Mm-hmm. I think I've kind of oscillated back and forth because they edited the show to make you think, oh, it could be this person.
Yeah, they do a good job of that.
And so I'm not going to say, but from the early on, like within the first few minutes of the first episode, I think we both were like, what about Ryan? She did. It's just something's off. And so I would not be shocked. I mean, that's who I think the mole is. But we're not spoiled. I'm not spoiled, are you?
No.
So that's who I think the mole is, Ryan. What else you got?
There's an undercover cop on there too.
Yeah,
past undercover cop.
Former undercover, and he's a little bit better.
Yeah.
But they caught on to him too through the point of the game, through the course of the games and the challenges. Mm-hmm. But again, we'll just kind of peek in on the mole because we're just kind of watching it as we get to it.
Yeah, because all the episodes are out. So.
Right. I think one of the things I'd like to try, since we'll make this, it's the Olympics of reality TV and it's the real Olympics. I would like to find a way to tie those in. I don't know how we're going to do that just yet. Mm-hmm. I think I envision like us like watching or getting backstory. I don't know how many of the Olympic athletes have been on reality TV. Simone Biles was on reality TV. She's got a documentary that's coming out. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll talk about that, even though it's not really reality TV.
Well, didn't I send you a TikTok of someone in track and field who like works at Burger King or something?
Yeah, but I mean, everyone's got these backstories. But I'm saying that it's related about reality TV is what I'm trying to think. Find ways.
What's more reality than that?
Burger King?
Yeah. Like, what? It's like that's his real life. And we're watching his real life. Like, what are you saying?
Well, I'm talking more about Dallas Cowboys, Cheerleaders, Hard Knocks type content.
Like, who was on those, maybe?
Well, like finding videos of people with backstories, not just a news story about these. Okay. All these Olympians are going to have news stories about their lives.
Okay.
I'm talking about watching stuff related to the behind the scenes content of their life and stuff like that. Or maybe just the Olympics. Maybe we can find a vlog during the pandemic when they did the bubble, the NBA season in the bubble. Matisse Thybulle did daily vlogs from inside the bubble. Maybe we'll see what it's like in the Parisian Olympic Village. Find someone who's doing that, make it an Olympic reality TV segment. We'll fill you in on the Olympics. But it's the Olympics of reality TV for the People's Rose. Oh, no, this is what I wanted to do. I forgot about this. This is what I wanted to do. It's the Olympics of reality TV. In every competition in the Olympics, they're giving out bronze, silver, and gold medals. The People's Rose will be giving out our bronze rose, our silver rose, our gold rose, and then we'll give out the People's Rose.
Oh,
I would like to do it. I like it. We got 2 episodes we're trying to do a week. I would like to do it at least 1 episode a week.
Okay.
And it can be from any reality TV thing. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be related to Olympics.
Okay.
But that's how we'll tie it in.
I like it.
So this is just a sneak peek. We won't do it this episode because I didn't tell you, but give you time to prepare for it. But we are going to award our Olympic medals, our People's Roses, to the reality people from whatever show, whether watching it or not. Just if they make the news, we'll let you know.
I love it.
All right. Well, this has been an action-packed week of reality TV. This has been, thank you for listening. If you have to another episode of the People's Rose, you can find us. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll have the links to our social media at People's Rose, on most social media. And, if you're listening, just thank you for listening. Please leave a comment on Spotify, review us on Apple or whatever podcast network you use to listen to us. If you know us personally, give us a pat on the back and say, hey, great episode. Keep it up. You're not screaming to the void. We actively listen to you and care about your opinion. Thank you. No, I'm joking. No, I'm actually not. But anyways, thank y'all for listening. It's gonna be a long summer, an enjoyable summer, a windy, wet, rainy summer here in Houston, Texas. And thank you.
Thanks.
All right, bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love them.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we love you.